Hello, my dear students. I am your new physics teacher, and we will spend this year together. And surely it will be perfect year and an exciting one. So be ready. Now I will make a small introduction for this year. This year we will learn two units in physics. The first one, electricity, and the second one is the forces. And the two units are perfect units for studying. And I hope from you that you have studied it in grade 8. Now we will talk about the first unit in our year. The first part, which is electricity, will include 5 lessons, which are DC voltage, and this lesson talks about the direct current voltage and the electric current and how we calculate the voltage across any electric component and also the electric current. The second lesson, which is AC voltage, it means alternating sinusoidal current voltage. It is very simple lesson and talks about the frequency and the period of the voltage and electric current waves and about the effective voltage. The third one, which is the resistor, it talks about the usage of resistor and Ohm's law to calculate the resistance of each resistor. It is a new lesson for you, but surely it is a simple lesson. The fourth lesson, which is the voltage of the main, it is a very simple lesson and a small one. And the last one, powers and energy, also it is very simple lesson and we will talk about it in the next lectures. Now we will talk about the second unit of this year. The second unit is forces. It will include two lessons which are mechanical action and equilibrium of a body. The first lesson talks about the definition of the force and the nature of each force and the characteristics of each force. The characteristics are point of application, line of action, direction, and its magnitude. This lesson you took it in grade 8, while the second one is a new lesson talks about equilibrium of a body and it is very exciting lesson and surely it is a simple one. In this slide, we will revise some important lessons from grade 8. We will start in mechanical action and forces. The objective of this lecture is to know the definition of force, the effects of the force, and finally the SI unit of force. The first objective for this lecture is to know the definition of a force. We must conclude the definition of the two forces from these two figures. In figure 1, there is a man holding the lifting, and he is using his muscles to push it up and down. So, he is making a force to move it. And in figure 2, there is a boy kicking the ball. So he makes a force by his foot to kick the ball to move it. So we conclude that any object can't move only if there is a force applied on it from another object. Therefore, we conclude that the force represents a mechanical action exerted by a body on another body. The second objective for this lesson is to know the effects of a force. We must conclude the effects of each force from these two figures. In figure 1, there is a bullet hitting the glass, so the glass is broken. We deduce that the force done by the bullet on the glass broke this glass and deforms its shape. So as a result, a force can deform a body or change its shape. In the second figure, there is a ball moving towards a boy, and the boy makes a force on it, and this force stops the motion of this ball. As a result, we can deduce that a force can prevent a motion. Therefore, this slide shows to me two effects of a force. The first one is a force can deform a body, while the second one is that a force can prevent a motion. Now we will continue in the same objective, which is the effect of a force. We have here two new figures. The first figure shows to me a boy is throwing a ball toward the wall. So the force applied by the boy on the ball create a motion. As a result, we can deduce that a force can create a motion. While in the second figure, there is a ball moving in a specific direction, but the goalkeeper makes a force on the ball and leads to it changing in its direction. So as a result, a force can modify a motion. Therefore, these two slides shows to me the effects of a force, which are four. The first one, a force can deform a shape of a body. The second one, a force can prevent the motion of a certain body. And the third one, a force can create a motion. And the last one, which is a force can modify a motion. The last objective for this lecture is to know the measurement of force. This slide shows me 2 points. The first one tells us that the force is measured using dynamometer. As we know, any physical quantity has a device to measure it. For example, we use the digital balance to measure our mass. And we use a graduated cylinder to measure the volume of any liquid. So the force is measured using dynamometer or spring balance. And this figure shows to me the shape of this spring balance or dynamometer. The second point tells us that in the International System SI, the force is measured in Newton. So, as a result, the force is measured using dynamometer and it is expressed in Newton. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you understand everything in this lecture.